Hello and welcome. I'm NBG, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Darkmoon Faire, some of the things I like there or don't like there, and I'm going to do a small farm there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm sure you might be aware, but if you've never been out to the Darkmoon Faire, in every major city, I do believe, you can find these Darkmoon Faire Mystic Mages, and they probably have a quest for you. That quest will take you out there, it'll get you the book, which I actually don't even know if I have my book on me, unfortunately. Oh, I do right there. The Darkmoon Adventures Guide. It'll get you that, which allows you to find Darkmoon artifacts, from raids and battlegrounds and stuff to be able to get other things that give you tickets. But anyway, this starter quest will not just take you there, but it'll also give you like 5 tickets. And even if you're like me and you've already done it, maybe forever ago, you can actually just talk to them and they will teleport you to the Darkmoon Faire. So once you click on the portal and you come to the Darkmoon Faire, you might be wondering just the different types of things you can do. Well, there's really 3 major things to do at the Darkmoon Faire. One of which would be fishing for both the dagger maw, right? Or I think that's what they're called. We'll look at the vendor. I can't remember. But fishing for both the Darkmoon waters and then also the fish themselves, because the fish themselves are the primary currency of the Darkmoon Faire. And then beyond that, you can do a lot of daily games, things of that nature. A lot of them can reward prizes and get tickets. And the tickets can be used a couple different places. Also, if you have any prize tickets and you don't know where they're at, they are actually under your currency tab, under miscellaneous. So like this character, I have 1 prize ticket. You can get prize tickets for many things, doing the mini games. There's really 1 quest I think is super worth it. But the big question is what could you actually buy with these tickets? This is one of the primary things that you can get. You can come over here and get some different cosmetics, like this hammer, for instance. Regional sell average of about 15.5k. This is just a cosmetic, used for transmog. So there's a bunch of different ones. Like this one is the back piece, and you have toys, you have other things like that. A lot of those are buying on account. You have the balloon companion, the pet. Cannot auction that. Let's see what else. But one of the main ones right here is this weapon, and then there's other vendors like these that sell replica pieces. Now, I've been asked before by friends of do I think replica pieces are worthwhile, and I would say no. And the only reason I would say no is because they just, I don't think I have ever sold one. Now, it's on an old server and stuff that I had a bunch that I went through here and got nearly a full set. I think I got the rogue set or something. And they just, it's transmog. It's miserably slow to sell, and they're usually extremely expensive. And then at that rate, it's if you're gonna sell them, usually it's well, screw that. I'd rather go farm it myself instead of spending that amount. Getting these is really up to you. There is many ones that look good. It's all the old gear, all the old raid gear and whatnot. Different colorings of it. Yeah, it was definitely the rogue stuff I had. All this stuff right here. Anyway, I don't like spending my prize tickets on these because they are just so darn slow at selling. And that's my issue with it. It's not like they're not potentially good. They're just not my cup of tea. So yep, that's it. If you want to go for them, or hey, even if you want to go for them for yourself, you can. But those are all auctionable. You could definitely get heirloom pieces. I did that way back in the day. I got heirloom pieces that way because one of the quest chains that you can do that I think you can only do it 1 time. But it does reward 100 prize tickets, and I remember using that and then getting 2 things I needed. So that's something else you can do with your tickets. And let's go down here. There we go, right here. To me, these are the ones that are really worth getting, whether it's one of the mounts for yourself, because you can't auction these, So whether it's one of these mounts for yourself just to have them, like this one for 10,000 prize tickets, or what I prefer to do, and I think it's what a lot of people prefer to do, is I prefer to get pets, and most specifically like the hatchling here. I like this pet, and then any of the other ones really. Decided to pop on over to the bank vault real quick just to show you that as much as those do say that they're not auctionable, the turtle, the hatchling, the stuff like that, you just put them into your pets, right? You just put them here and then you cage them that way. So they are sellable. So specifically, you can just look on your server, type in Darkmoon, you can pretty much see just about everything that's available, and those pets are here. Now, if you look at the sell rates of those pets, you have like 0.10, pretty good, 0.10, 0.10. Like their sell rates are pretty high, specifically for the Zeppelin Tonk Cub. And then you have these ones down here that are a little bit lower, but it's better than Transmog, right? Instead of a 0.01, it's a 0.05, so you actually kind of have a chance at selling the dang thing. So that's personally where I like to put any token, or excuse me, any of the tickets that I have. I prefer to put them towards pets. Yeah, and then one of the other big things that you can do there is by fishing, getting like the Darkmoon Faire water and stuff like that. Those do sell pretty well. I believe they're like guaranteed through like the junk piles around the outside edge, like in the water. You'll see them, the floating debris. You can also get them randomly, I think, out in the water, but I think the floating debris is guaranteed Darkmoon Faire water. And then the Darkmoon Daggermaw is the fish that's essentially used as currency. And that's actually what I'm going to farm today. Granted, the price is down a lot. I think it was like $11.50 or something yesterday, and now it's down to like $9. This is also one of those things that you can kind of hold on to and wait until the beginning of the next month or something. As Darkmoon Faire usually starts on the first full week of the month, right? So starting on Sunday, the first full week of the month. So from the 4th going on, that's when the Darkmoon Faire is. So you could always do fishing or something now and just hold this until the next one, which would start on the 2nd. You can go ahead and just be ready to post on that day and probably be able to get a lot more money. I do feel like the total price of these has fallen quite a lot. That's what I wanted to farm today. I wanted to see just how good Darkmoon Daggermaw was to farm, like in mix with Firewater, like per hour. I have a feeling it's not that great, but I think I'm going to do it anyway. And then one of the other big things I'd like to point out is the Darkmoon Rabbit. The Darkmoon Rabbit comes from a boss out there. Well, I guess a rare is what you would say. And typically, if I'm going to go out there and do some fishing, I'm going to sit right outside of that cave, and I'm going to fish that way and just have hopes that the rare spawns. If the rare does spawn, it's very much soloable, and it is guaranteed to drop one rabbit. However, if 50 people tag the mob, it's going to drop one rabbit for everybody. So one of those 50 people will get the rabbit. So it's kind of hit and miss. However, the Darkmoon Rabbit, which looks amazing by the way with the blood on it and stuff, that is one of the things that I really want. So usually I'll go out there and sit there and fish in the hopes that the rare will pop up and I have a chance to get this rabbit, because it's worth a decent amount on pretty much every server. So that's what I'm going to go back out there and do. So again, this really isn't a guide. It's kind of just talking about the things that I think are worthwhile doing. One of which is if you really want to get some of those pets to put them up on the auction house, they are pretty decent. This vendor, is it this vendor or is it the one next to it? I think it's the one next to it. This vendor here we go. This vendor down here sells a couple things. One, the Darkmoon Daggermaw, 500 of them are used to get this mount. And you also have this Ghost Crab pet, which is pretty sick. This one also can be sold on the market at a decent price. And let's see, what else do we got? Blorp. You got Blorp down here for 50. And then, let's see. Oh no, it's not going to show up for me, is it? there should be a quest for, I think, 100. There should be a quest here that you can buy, like a treasure map that starts a quest chain for like 100 of these dagger maws. If I'm not mistaken, I can always look on another character that hasn't done it. But once you do that quest chain, you find all this stuff on the island, that quest chain ends up rewarding you with 100 tickets, and then you can spend those 100 tickets as you so please. So usually on like a fresh character or a character I haven't done it with, which honestly I should probably go through and see which characters I have and do it once or twice, that's typically what I do. So it's just on a character that maybe I've never done it before. I'll take that character out here, I will get the 100 dagger maw, I'll use that 100 dagger maw to go around and get the tickets, because again, you know, like let's say if it's 100 dagger maw, but a dagger maw costs 9 gold, you know, that's 900 gold that you can then basically use to get a pet that's worth, you know, 7,000-10,000, you know, whatever they're going for. It's usually always more than that, right? So it is worth just going to the auction house and buying what you need to do that. So that's one thing I would suggest if you have a character that's not done it before. There's tons of guides out there. It's really not too hard, but just get the quest off of this vendor and then use that, use those tickets to go buy pets. That's what I would do. Other than that, the next big one is, oh wait, we have a rare or something up. I don't even know which one that one is, but I'm gonna head out to it. Let's head out to it together. So this here is Death Metal Night, and I don't even know if this thing's soloable or what. Probably not. I'm guessing that thing's gonna kick his butt, but anyway, let's go in and help and see. Maybe it's worth the time, maybe it's not. Kinda has a lot of health. Hopefully other people show up, right? Alright, let's see what it drops. Kinda took a while to kill. Actually, don't even know what the hell this one drops. I don't think I've ever done this fight for some reason. Maybe, but eventually dies. What do we get? What the hell is that? That is Time Warped, 236 gear, it's a two-handed mace. Oh, that is absolutely awesome. Damn. Soulbound, right? Dish out some death metal. That is fantastic. Cool. Well, there you go. Look, I did something new too. Definitely never killed that. But being a pretty legit metalcore slash death metal fan myself, that is freaking awesome. So let's go. That's cool. I like it. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. So right here are what I was talking about. Let's see if I can get my fishing pole. These debris is where you could get things at. Which that guy already got them all, so, you know, fail me, I guess. Actually, it's probably a dick move to try to take that from him. I actually feel bad now. But anyway, over here, you have this cave. This cave is the one where that rabbit or whatever spawns, and I don't know the spawn timer. I know it's really inconsistent, though. So, if I'm ever just going for the fish, I will literally just sit right here and fish, just for the fact that I want to be right here if the rare spawns. But that's where the rare's at. It's on this little spot right here on the map by this little cave. There's also another like rare or boss that spawns out here, but really the one that's worthwhile is this one for the pet. So it's usually the only one I personally care about. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit here and farm up some dagger maw for a while and kind of see what the gold looks like. So as you're fishing, you also have a chance to get like these sealed Darkmoon crates, and you can actually get those anywhere. And when you open them, you can get Darkmoon Fire water, and as you can see, Darkmoon Fire water actually is worth a decent amount. So that is also a part of the fishing out here, is those crates, and I believe that's what you get when you go and get all those. If you just run around the outside edge and get the wreckage, but I honestly prefer to just sit in one spot, particularly here, because if this comes up, I want to be here for it, because missing out at my chance to get the pet would suck, because it's like 50k plus typically. So I'm just gonna sit here and chill. I do like the little fish heads that you can get. Those are fun. I enjoy those. But other than that, there's not much to it. It's just fishing. It's nice to sit here and chill to the ambience, to be honest. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will take a minute to talk about a few things. First of all, on our Fresh 60 Fresh Server character that we have been doing, the prices have absolutely plummeted. Like, really, really plummeted. Most of those legendaries now that I was selling and making are now at like 11.5k or something per. Like, it's really low. Even now, that market on that server is dropped to a point where I don't feel like it's even worth it now. And that's unfortunate, because that's basically the only major thing that we had going for ourselves. Obviously, we can go out and do some other random farm, and you know, the things I've talked about before. Whether it's a primal farm like Primal Fire or Warbear Leather or whatever. Like, we could always go out and farm something, but I really don't think many things are really worth the time right now. I would say if you really felt like farming, keep an eye on the auction house. Keep an eye on specific farms or things you like. Like, for me, it would be like Warbear Leather, and a couple other things like that. And just like older ores are definitely something to keep an eye out on. And just monitor those prices. And if you know that the price is risen a good amount, go out and farm it. It's like that. Like, that's what my wife does with thin jellies all the time. She kind of just keeps an eye on it, and once it gets over a certain point, she knows that's the day that if she doesn't have any already on the auction house, that's when she's going to take the time to go get it. So I feel like that's kind of what you have to do. I am definitely... It's not good right now to farm just to farm. I would just rather spend my time doing other things, and if those other things are on WoW, it's going to be unlocking something for the future. I've talked about this before, kind of like the Warbear Woolies, doing things like that. There's some other transmogs that I'd like to be able to craft. I would like to be able to go get the Vial of Sands, because I don't have that in terms of like like, I don't have the ability to make one yet. I have to get it to drop. It's stuff like that, and I really do feel, unfortunately, for all you guys watching the Fresh 60 Fresh server, as well as just making content as a new creator, it's a pretty bad time to be making WoW Gold content right now, in my opinion. There's not a lot worthwhile, but I can use that time to focus on other things, and that's kind of what I think I'm gonna do. Probably gonna play a little bit less. I'm definitely gonna do my tables every day, as well as callings when they match up. Like, yesterday was like double Maldraxxus, so I don't need to do anything today. I'm good. Yeah, like, I will do Revendreth tomorrow on like a few of my main characters, and in hopes that it's a double. But other than that, that's where I think we're at right now in Shadowlands. I mean, does anybody disagree with me? Or have anything to add? I think we're at a point in time where, as much as I don't want it to be true, I think we're at maintenance time. Which means I'm just going to be making enough gold. Enough gold to me is making... Well, granted, it's pretty easy, but like, I want to make about a token a week, in terms of gold. And I don't honestly need to try very hard to do that. And that's just kind of where I'm at. And then all my extra time is going to be used on farms. The issue I have with that is I want to be able to make good content for you guys to watch. But, like, nobody wants to watch me go farm for 5 hours trying to get the damn drop for Vial of the Sands, or, you know, do dungeon runs until I get a specific pattern to drop or something. Like, I don't know what to do content wise, unfortunately. I think the content could be very good in pre-patch, potentially, if there's something there for us to make money on, or maybe during Brewfest, talking about a little bit of things there. But that kind of stuff is a little bit like Darkmoon Faire is. Darkmoon Faire has been around forever. There's really nothing new. You get tickets and you buy the things that you want, whether it's replica gear or it's the pets. Like, that's just it. There's different ways to get tickets. There's a few drops that you can turn in. There's that initial quest with the Dagger Maw. There's doing dailies out here. But beyond that, like, that's just it. You get your tickets. You buy the loot you want. It's the only time we can come out here and farm the Darkmoon Dagger Maw, as well as the fire, the water, this one right here, the Darkmoon Fire water and stuff like that. But other than that, it is what it is, I guess. And by the way, I can already tell this is going to be a very awful farm. I am not exactly gaining a lot, but I'm going to do it anyway because I feel like it. But yeah, that's just that's kind of where I'm at. I think it's time to hit maintenance mode unless something pops up. If I'm sitting here playing and I notice something's really worth doing or whatever the case may be, by all means I'll make a video on it and share it. But I think what I'm going to do is relax a little bit more, I guess, and I will save farms that hopefully don't suck like this one for the weekend, right? I'll wait until I have more time, and then we can go out and do the Cobra Scale. We can go out and go do some other, random ore or random something that looks like it's worthwhile doing. Like, we could do something like that on the weekend and make a video about it and talk about it. But as for Fresh 60 Fresh Server, oh man, I don't know. It's really taken a big hit in the last 2 days. It is plummeted in terms of profitability over there right now. And it's kind of where the point is on my main server. On my main server, what I'm doing right now is I'm kind of just trying to sell out of my current stock for the most part. I'm going to keep about one set of like the level 50 gear up on the auction house just because it pretty much always sells, at least especially on my main server. But other than that, like, I want my 262s to sell, I want my legendaries to sell, and then I might not make any more, honestly. That's where I think it's finally gotten to. I think 262s for a lot of people could still definitely be worth it. But man, once we even get a hint of that pre-patch is coming, guys. And when it gets here, there's going to be catch-up gear. Like, there always is. So, I would prefer to sell out of that stuff, because we don't know how good the pre-patch gear is going to be. But it's probably going to be decent. Like, who knows? It might not even be 262. It might be like 249 or something, But it's still going to be good enough, I think. So, anyway. That's just what I'm going to do, is take it slow, and if I'm going to put out content, I want it to be worth your guys' time. Yeah. I lied, the Darkmoon Rabbit isn't soloable. So this thing's finally dying. It is an absolute raid boss, no joke. Really hope this guy can keep me up. Here's to hoping that I get the pet, right? Almost dead. I swear to God, it's been like 10 minutes of just us three fighting this. Please don't let me die. Alright. Did I get it? I did not. Of course I didn't. Because again, as we've discussed, I have zero luck in this game. Ah. Shit. I thought it was guaranteed to drop one. Dang. I actually legitimately thought that was a guarantee. I was actually going to ask the other person that I was with. I'd always heard that this was. That's interesting. But neither... Yeah. We didn't get one. Sucks. Rip. Back to fishing. Alright, so that 1 hour farm is done. I'm just going to go ahead and open up all these bloated fish and Darkmoon crates and send everything over to the bank alt and see what we're at. So after all said and done, I got 322 fish. Decent amount of that came from opening that stuff at the end. It really isn't worth that much. Oh wow, I'm not posting at that price. No thanks. Yeah, as you can see, this kind of stuff's dropping in price pretty crazily. So, at the minimum, it's not worth farming right now. Yeah, I was seeing them at like 12 plus. Like, that's probably, honestly, I should probably hold on to these. Like, dang, this price is kind of awful. Maybe I'll post like here and call it good, because I don't really care, but I probably should. It's not very valuable. So let's say I post there at 3,000, and then I got enough waters for a whopping 200 gold, you know. So that on top of opening the fish gave you a couple hundred gold of opening and stuff like that. Like, that was like 3,500 gold for an hour. Ouch. Yeah, so obviously, I probably didn't need to do that farm to tell you, but it's not worth at least about a week in, right? Like, or what are we in? Gosh, it's only even been like 4 days. So only halfway into the Darkmoon Faire, and it is already way, way, way not worth it to go out there to farm. I would say that there's probably a pretty good chance that if you let those prices go really low, you can probably buy a ton of it and wait until the next Darkmoon Faire comes and post it immediately. And I bet you can probably make some pretty good money, because those prices are, gosh, with the combination of commodities for everybody, like, oh man. It's really bad on markets like that. So anyway, that's something I would consider doing, is waiting until the weekend, waiting until, you know, Friday or Saturday, checking on the Darkmoon prices, and if they're terribly low, I might just, you know, blow 10, 20,000 or something with the chance of being able to double it or something in like a month. So that's something you can consider doing. But, you know, as I thought, definitely not worth your time to go out there and farm. Yeah, just buy it off the auction house, at least at the moment. So with that, that's today's farm. That's everything I wanted to talk about. We did learn that the rabbit out there it is not a guaranteed drop. I thought one person was guaranteed to get the rabbit drop. That is incorrect for whatever reason. But I guess I was wrong on that. And I also thought that was soloable, which, I mean, it's not soloable on a crappy geared Fury Warrior, but, you know, maybe a Hunter or something else like that would have done okay. But it definitely has a lot of health. So, do that, you know, do with that as you will. That pet is definitely worth the trouble if you can go get a tag on that and have a chance for it to drop. It's definitely worth a lot. But other than that, the Darkmoon Faire is what we thought it is, right? You can get the tickets, and in particular, get some of the pets and sell them over time. You can YOLO for some of that transmog, but I'm telling you, I've never had luck selling it. If you do, then you're in luck, because it's usually worth a pretty good amount. But what I would do is kind of like this character, you know, is go ahead and if the quest is here, you can pick it up. That's 5 tickets. You get your guide, you get all that kind of stuff, and then go there and do that initial quest over at the vendor that I showed. I do believe it's 100 dagger maw. I'm pretty sure to get that. I'm pretty sure it's a treasure map, and then you have to get like 3 or 4 treasures or something, and then like basically, long story short, you do that, and at the end of it, you get 100 tickets. You can then use those 100 tickets to go buy one piece of transmog you want, or buy a pet, something to that effect. That's worth it, especially if you can buy 100 dagger maw for like 8 gold or whatever it's posted at right now. Like, spend 800 gold to get a pet that's worth a few thousand. Doing those kind of things is probably worth it. But other than that, there's not insane gold making opportunity out in Darkmoon Faire. So, yeah. With that, my plan is maybe I'll put out some content on Friday. We will see. Depends on how much time I have. But the current plan is, as I talked about before, it's maintenance mode time. I'm kind of getting on running through my tables, doing callings if they line up, like a day like today where I'm waiting a day to see how it looks tomorrow. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. On this server, I can even show you. Let's see what the 291s and stuff we're even looking at. They're actually higher on my main server now than they are on the Fresh 60 Fresh server. Yeah, like these pauldrons, like it's 7k, 10k. That's where everything is on the Fresh 60 Fresh server right now, by the way. It's all like 9 to like 12k at the most, which isn't great. There's technically some profit there given how much things. Oh wow, look at Progenitor. Is that right? Okay, those are just really cheap. Even this, yesterday I was seeing them at like 1400, and now look, now they've dropped down this low. So, obviously, you need 2 of them. So even if it dropped from 1400 down to 1100, that's saving you 600 gold. So that is a part of the price drop, but it's definitely not worth just sitting at the auction house anymore. The 291s, that is. So I don't plan on doing that. I'm just gonna do my tables, do callings when they line up. I might throw out some random farms that I feel like trying and sharing, and just sharing the numbers on what they pull in. But other than that, it's maintenance and getting my account ready to make gold in the long term, like we've talked about, Viola Sands and things of that nature that I do not have yet. So with that, that's the end of today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you'd like to see. Maybe there's a specific farm you want me to try. Maybe there's just anything specific you want me to try. I would love to take some ideas and try them out and record them real quick and share it. But beyond that, I will, at the very least, I'll see you guys this weekend, where hopefully I will put out 1 or 2 1-hour farms and share those results with you. So with that, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.